Hi.
I'm right here. Okay, how are you? Okay. We are going to be using a wall later. So we'll move our mat later. We're going to be a little active, a little bit restorative. We're going to have a blend basically of both today. Yesterday was the summer solstice, so the longest day of daylight per year. Here comes Dawn. Let me grab her bolster. Hello, Donna. So Monday, when I came in to teach, I was actually talking about the summer solstice that happened yesterday. I was talking about how more light is being emitted from the sun. We're getting more solar flares that are hitting the planet. I put a bolster here for you. Okay. And within light is energy, within energy is consciousness, within consciousness is information and intelligence. So we are being gifted with these downloads of new light right now. We will see how all this evolves, but one question that I was having you kind of pose to yourself and to be contemplative with on Monday was, what lights you up? What brings joy to your life? And can you bring more of that into play? Can you align with those things that make you feel lighter? Because the world's heavy and the world can be cold and dark and bleak, and it's up to us to be able to transmute that energy. Anything that happens at a micro level affects the macro. Everything that happens at the macro level is going to affect us at the micro level. Deepak Chopra says happiness is an inside job. And we often think of joy and happiness being like light. There's more to light than that. Maybe it's just coming in here and lightening your load. Maybe it's having a moment where you have like a light bulb moment and you're all of a sudden aware of something that you didn't quite see the same way before. And now it's changed. And you're able to alter your response to the situation or the person. So anyway, all of this light is a really beautiful thing. And we were hopefully embracing and celebrating this new light coming in. And hopefully we'll continue to do so. We're going to start on our backs, and the pose that we're going to start in is like a big star shape. So I want you to spread out and take up space, more space than your mat, actually. So if it feels comfortable to the hip, slide your feet onto the cool wood floor. And if it's okay with your shoulders, splay the arms up in a big Y type shape. And if the back of your hands don't touch down, that may become a strain to your shoulders. And if that's the case, obviously you can bring them down at more of a shoulder height, more of a starfish shape, if that's best. We're going to open up this practice just feeling how we can become more expanded. And I mentioned on Monday, the summer solstice can be referenced as the expanding light. And even though the summer solstice is about the external light, the natural light from the sun, I want you to consider what can help to expand your light, your personal light, your inner light. Because we are light bodies. Go ahead and begin to drink from the breath, taking deeper sips of breath. And with each breath that you take, feel that wave of movement working through your system. Imagine that within the breath, within the oxygen, is sparkles of light coming, entering into your lungs, escaping the lungs and working into your circulation. Let that light collect around your heart And then start to radiate through every cell and fiber of your being. I want you to imagine this with your mind's eye, and I also want you to recite this quietly within. It's a prayer for illumination from the Kundalini and Nam yoga lineages. Light before me, light behind me, light at my left, light at my right, light above me, light below me, light within me, light in my surroundings, light to all, light to the universe. And I'm going to add, let there be light. Slide your left foot over to join your right foot. Take your left arm up closer to the face and then swerve the upper body in that same direction. So basically you're creating the shape of a banana or a crescent moon with your physical form. Shoulder blades and sits bones staying grounded. Feel free to close the eyes. Notice where you sense the stretch in your left side body. You feel it at your hip or at your waist and the outseam of the shoulder. Be aware of what it's targeting and then breathe into that area. Today we're going to be listening to some songs that reference the sun. Starting off with the Beatles. And there's a couple songs in the mix that were made specifically for the summer solstice a number of years ago. I'll bring your attention to it when it begins. So on your next in-breath, go ahead and slide the left limbs back out. Head rotates back to center. Coming back to that star-shaped position. Now let's bring the right foot over to join the left. Let's bring the right arm up and then curve the upper body to the left as well. Don't take it so far that your breath gets caught, trapped, or restrained. If there's restriction in the breath, sometimes it's showing that we're doing too much physically or that we're no longer grounded in the body. And for when you notice that, reopen the breath of life. Bring it under your command. And then lessen the work of the breath to be more open and free. Just a few more breaths. I like to think of side bends as opening up Venetian blinds. Letting the natural light come through, but also allowing your natural light to shine out. On your next in-breath, let's breathe that star shape. But then as you exhale, go ahead and bring the hands over. Hug your knees in towards your side ribs. We're coming into tree frog. So the thighs are separated. The knees are open wide. You're flat on your low back. Your feet are soft. There's no flexion. More of a passive stretch. Now count for 7 breaths. Completed your 7. Release the hands from the knees so the feet can slide down to the floor and then closer to each other. Once the feet are lightly touching, place your fingers together and cup the hands underneath the base of your skull. The hands are propping up the head, but notice it's also making the upper wings of the butterfly, a smaller set of wings. The legs and the feet are creating the broader wings. Relax your inner thighs, your hips and your buttocks. Let gravity assist. Please know that if this becomes too intense, you can always flutter the knees up a degree and then rock them back down. And you can continue that movement just like the butterfly fluttering the wings, resting on a flower. So if you're arthritic in your hips, you may need that little movement. Otherwise, you can stay here and steep here. Stillness. 3 more breaths. To release that 3rd breath, remove the hands from under the head, float the knees back up and flatten the feet to the floor. Hook your right ankle over your left knee, pick up the left foot, place your hands behind your left leg and draw in. Don't overly pull. Just pull enough to the degree where you feel the stretch. So just think of the hips as being like the holding tank in the body. Notice how much you're holding here on this side. So the main chorus of this song, when it starts to sing, is we are the light, we are the love, we are the peace. Let that be your mantra right now. You can use it as an affirmation. I am love, I am light, I am. All right, let's release that side, uncross that right ankle, and now step your left ankle over the right knee, pick up the right foot, create your hand hold, the knee hold pose. Checking in on this side, this holding tank, have more or less.
Look at each exhalation as a way to flush some of this out. One more deep breath. Exhale, release your grip. Sink the feet down to the mat. Turn it over to one side of your body. And slowly form a tabletop position where you're on hands and knees. We're going to go through a little flow here before we drop into a restorative position. So as you inhale, create the saddle in your back. Lift your sits bones at the top of your head. And as you exhale, round into cat stretch. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, curl the toes. Lift off to downward facing dog. Now hold and breathe. Walk the hands back towards your toes. Folding over in half to Uttanasana. Gravitate the heart a little lower. Loosen your neck to drop the head a little heavier. And then inhale, root down to rise all the way up. Feel as though you're gathering all this light from the sun, or that a beam is coming down through your body, touching to the earth. Exhale, slowly hinge forward and release down. Once you release down, inhale, walk the hands out before you to plank. Once you come to plank, hold up your body here, gain a little strength, and then exhale, descend the knees. Inhale, open up to cow. Exhale, take it to cat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Focus on the foundation first and move up from there. Sending all the energy up to the peak of the pose. Now walk the hands back towards the feet. We're bringing it from the brow now into the crown as you lower the head more. Inhale, root to rise up. Come to that upward worship. Exhale, coming right back in. Inhale, walking it out to plank. Strengthening and stretching the wrist in the process, keeping the body long and strong, each breath long and strong. Exhale, descend your knees to table. Inhale, create a sway in your back. Open your heart and throat. Exhale, round into cat stretch. Tailbone tucks, and so does the chin. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take about 3 more breaths. Now walk your hands back towards your feet. All right, so I want you to notice when you're folding forward, the distance between your head and the mat. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this a little bit more restorative. So in other words, this is where you can gather your props and figure out, can I stack blocks in a certain way to prop the head on? But you don't want to take it to your fullest degree. In fact, you can even have the bolster here, your head resting and your arms hanging. Now we've done this before at the wall, but you can do it without the wall. So would you like the bolster propping the third eye or blocks? And can you loosen your arms? Softening the elbows, allowing them to bend. And maybe flipping the hands upside down so that you're not having to work your wrist. This was one of the other songs on that album celebrating the solstice. We are the people of love. Let us people love today. Soften your face, your sensory organs. Sometimes it helps to make sure there's space between the rows of teeth, even between the lips. Just a few more breaths. And let it start to come away from that pose. Separate the blocks away. Bend your knees. Keep your hands close to the floor. And then come on down. Once you come down, we're going to spread out onto the belly. Onto the forearms, actually, to seat pose. And we're going to slide the right knee up beside us. Ideally in line with your hip. And flipping the foot to rest on the interior side. You're going to prop the heart up. You can have the eyes open or shut. If this is too much for your back or your hip, you can always crawl out with your elbows and rest into prayer hand like this. The heart opener and the hip opener. Next time I have with relations and work, shame and guilt, creativity, creation. Art is all about self-worth, self-love, love, life, hope, faith, courage, forgiveness. The positive attributes remains to energetic centers. Head sit up. I want you to gently bow the head down. Once you bow the head down, you can slightly and slowly lean it to the right. Bring it back slightly and slowly. Left.
may find a pocket or an area in that connective tissue from your neck to your shoulder. And you want to hang out for a little bit. Yeah, slowly lift the head back up. Slide your right leg back. And now glide your left knee to the side. Flip to the inside of your foot. Let the foot rest on the wood floor. So your legs kind of making a frog leg or a 90-degree angle. Keep down the elbows to float up through the chest. Elongate your neck to float up through the crown of the head. The eyes are open, gaze at one spot. If they're closed, gaze up to the mind's eye. Remember, you can modify if it's too much. Back with the hip. Gently lower the head again. Slightly lean left, slightly lean right. May go back to that same pocket, may discover something else. Inhale, lift the head up. Exhale, slide your left leg back and your left arm to your left side, over to your left ear. Slide your right hand back towards your heart and then lift your right foot and place it behind your left leg, lifting the right knee skyward. This is called broken wing. If your head can't naturally come to the floor, or if that creates any pain or strain, then maybe put a bolster or blanket under your head. If it aggravates the low back, try bending your left knee. We're mixing a little yin in today's practice. But we're not holding it as long as a true yin practice, so that we're keeping it more gentle. All right, let's unroll from the twist, going back to the abdomen, sliding your right arm out, turning to your right cheek, lifting your left foot, stepping it behind your right leg. And then, of course, checking in. You need to change or alter anything. Do you need a prop underneath your face? Do you need to bend your right knee and make it more of a clam position? So, trying to really open up all that connective tissue where the arm meets the torso. When we open the shoulders, it helps to open the heart. When we open the heart, we're more connected to that natural love and light within. May the long time sun shine upon you. Oh, love surround.
May the pure light within you guide your way on. All right, let's roll out of broken lead. Slide your hands up underneath your shoulders. Push up to table. And you're ready to start restoring. So we're going to take our 2 blocks with a bolster on top to create stone. Your left leg is going to slide through the middle. And your right foot is going to connect to your inner left thigh. We're going to take a forward fold. So there's other ways to do this, but I thought this might be a little easier. As you inhale, lift the arms up. And then notice your body may want to tilt slightly. So turn the navel towards your front leg. Yeah. And then as you exhale, you're going to hinge forward. And as you hinge forward, if you're like kind of stuck here, your blocks can slide back, your elbows can drop into prayer hands. If you're more open to the hamstrings, you can even slide the bolster out, flip your hands upside down, and rest here in this manner. And some people like the arms on top of the prop. So remember, it's not trying to take us to our deepest degree of flexibility. We're trying to stay back away from that point so that it's more restorative, less intense. Since we're listening to this mantra, if you wanted to add an mudra, it goes like this. Sa, ta, na, na. Sa, ta. Thumb meeting each. And Satanama represents birth, life, death, rebirth. In the previous class, I was mentioning, just think about every day, we are so reliant on the sun. The sun is so dependable. We know it rises in the east. It's the birthing of the day. It has its peak in the middle of the day. The sun sets in the west. It's very similar to life being secular, not linear. Now slowly back away. Slide the left foot closer in and your right leg through that space. And each side may be different, so you may need to bring them closer or back them up a little farther away. Lift the arms up to lengthen your back. And then fold, test the waters here. Where can you rest and move into that state of being? Light before me, light behind me. Light at my left, light at my right. Light above me, light below me. Light within me. Light in my surroundings. Light to all. Light to the universe. May there be light. Breath and slowly back away from that forward fold. We're going to go back into opening the front of the body. So it looks like this. Sometimes we do it with two bolsters. Today we're just going to do it with a singular bolster. Sit on top of it. And when you come down, there's two different ways of doing this. One way is to just drop the shoulders and your head and neck. Your arms could be up or down. Another way is to have your shoulders actually resting on the bolster, the shoulder blades, I should say, where the tip of the shoulders are rolling back, and then you're just resting on your head. Not getting the traction in the head. You can choose one or the other depending on how it feels to you. Now, if you find that you have to bend the knees, sometimes it's nice to put the feet on blocks.
Is that good, or is it better just to have the feet to the floor?
That's fine.
Okay. Since you return to your back, I'm gonna dim the overhead lights. You're laid out and lounging in this pose. Enjoy the nourishment of your breath. I want you to listen to this solstice wish. My solstice wish for you this year is that your feet stay grounded, your heart stays warm. My solstice wish is that you know how strong you are, and that you stop doubting yourself. That you are able to feel at home, safe and loved inside of your own skin. That you find purpose in life and go for it with everything that you are, knowing you are put here for a reason. That you take time to enjoy the little things in life and breathe them all in. My solstice wish is for you to surround yourself with good people, bright souls that make you feel wanted and loved, for you are worthy. want our last pose to be legs up the wall. I'll give you an alternative if you don't feel like moving your mat. But I would like you to go ahead and bend your knees, roll away to one side. And I'll show you the alternative first, if you don't want to move. A good alternative to like the wall, if you're gonna stay put, is building a slide and having the legs angled up like this. And then if you want to slide your mat to the wall, you would actually sit on the corner like this, lower, and then roll back so that you're pretty close to the wall surface. So choose one or the other. There. Both poses are going to help to elevate the legs, which is good for circulation, bringing that blood flow to the pool of the belly. The more you relax, the more you let go, flow, move the leg, the heart, the mind. You can listen to this phrasing, this wording, and you can invite the light in. I invite the invincible, pure, white light to cleanse and purify my physical body. I invite the invincible, pure, white light to cleanse and purify my mental body. I invite in invincible, pure white light to cleanse and purify my emotional body. I invite the invincible, pure white light to cleanse and to purify my spiritual body. I invite the invincible, pure white light to cleanse and purify my heart. I invite in the invincible, pure white light to cleanse and to purify my third eye. I invite the invincible, pure white light to cleanse and purify my whole being. I give gratitude to this invincible, pure white light for cleansing and purifying my entire system.
Put your hands on your abdomen. Deepen the breath, feel the belly bellow. Your next in breath, stretch your arms overhead. And as you exhale, draw the knees back in. Raise the knees. Rock from side to side. Lower off to one side. Gradually come up to the seat. Sit. Take your hands to prayer. We are the light. We are the love. We are the peace. So go out and be the light. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.